Woman will marry a male. Here, the males marry a woman.
The man will not take a wife. It is the wife who will take a husband.
The aggressiveness will be taken up by the female.
Why, in observing, in just being and observing things, I become aware that there's a tendency to use concepts, to attach importance to them, whether from the eye consciousness or the body consciousness. There's a tendency in life to use concepts. Why?
जेव्हा मी साक्षीत्व करीत असतो तेव्हा माझ्यामध्ये अशी एक प्रवृत्ती उमळून येते की या कल्पनांच्याच आधारे पुढे जावं. कल्पनाच अशा देहाच्या असोत किंवा कशाच्याही असोत त्याच कल्पनाच्या आधाराने
मागे जाते तू जागेवरून हरतच नाही लक्षात ठेव. कल्पना करते.
Remember that these concepts only go forward and backward. You are steady and stabilized in yourself.
जगातले देव धर्म आमचं देव कल्पनाच आहे. त्याला पसरून पडलेली कल्पना ती कल्पना तिने वावरायला वापरायला दिली लोकांना.
All these religions, customary rituals, etc., gods and goddesses are all concepts. They may take their go forward and come backward, that you leave off and be stable.
आकार निर्णयाची मागणी कशी झाली हे मला कळलेलं नाही. मला नकळत झाले आकाराची मागणी. आणि तिसरे तयार झाल्यानंतर मग कालांतराने मी आहे माझ्या ध्यानात आलो. तर पूर्वी आकार मांडणी सगळे तयार आहे. त्याचा विचार करा.
When my form was constructed, my shape was made, it was all unknowingly. I never knew anything about it. And after the form was complete, it came out, and after some time only, the knowledge that I am appeared on me. Please think, deliberate on this. How did I come out in this particular shape? Think about it. How did I come out in this shape?
जगाच्या उजेडाची करता स्वतःची थोडीशी करा.
How did I happen to be in the form?
Dealing with the whole affairs of the entire world. Why don't you think about your own self?
मोठे 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 आहेत सागरामध्ये. बारीक चिंपले ते आपलं
शंख शिंपले कवड्या
मोठे मोठे आहेत. आधी शिंपलाची आधी जीव आणि त्या लिंगाच्या जीवाने एवढा शिंपला निर्माण कसं झाला. त्या शिंपल्यामध्ये एवढं मार्क असेल फारसे पण शिंपला केवढा निर्माण झाला आहे. अशा गोष्टीचा काय विचार करा. शिंपल्याने जीव निर्माण केला का जीवाने जीव शिंपला तयार केला. त्या जीवाने बुद्धीने निर्माण केलं.
Very big shell. In that fleshy matter, it is like it's really the life force is inside and the shell is there. Now he is asking which was first, whether that life force or that
shell.
No, who created the shell?
Is it the light that
thing out of its intelligence? Did he create the shell, or the shell created that life inside? Investigate about this. त्याचे राहडे दात इंटेलिजन्स किती आहेत राहडे आणि दात वगैरे ऑल द बोन्स अँड द टीथ एटसेट्रा आर दीज क्रिएटेड आउट ऑफ आवर इंटेलिजन्स ती काय आली चिंपला आली की चिंपलाची भाऊ आली भाऊ नाही चिंपलाची भाऊ
Has the shell created the life inside or the life inside has created the outer shell?
एवढ्या मी निशंक तुमच्या विद्वान लोकांबरोबर निशंक बोलतो असं काय पाहिलं नाही मला काय कळलंय हलक्या सारखे लोक पाहिजे जगात काय किमतीची माणसं आहे ती आणि किमती माणसं असतात तेवढी तिथं येतात शिवाय गर्दी येत नाही सांगा तू how dare I speak without any qualms or doubts with you? You are such scholarly, intelligent person. You are VIPs. And because you are a very important person, you have come here. You are very scholarly.
What must I have seen or known in order that I dare challenge you all who are so learned and so scholarly?
शिक्षण योग्य देत आहेत काय असं मी काय पाहिलंय की सगळं गप्प बसतात असं कोणतं ज्ञान माझ्याकडे आहे जातीने तो माणूस असत बरोबर आहे what is it that I have realized or understood which makes you dumbfounded and quiet before me?
For learned man in Western society,
Yes.
know that they don't know anything.
पाश्चिमात्य देशांमध्ये आता सगळ्यात जास्त विद्वान जे लोक आहेत त्यांना समजायला लागलाय की आपल्याला काहीच येत नाही
तेव्हा ते ताळ्यावर येते
Then they will come to their senses, he says.
तेव्हा ते ताळ्यावर येते बहुमत जे जीव आहेत त्यांना कसं वाटणार नाही एवढी विद्या काय कळलं हलक्याला नाही वाटणार
Only really precious lives, only those will feel that they don't know anything. But those who are of lower category will know nothing.
ते जे जीव आहेत त्यांनाच वाटणार हलक्याच्या
मिजाज पकडतात. आइन्स्टाईन
सगळ्यात विद्वान तो शास्त्रज्ञ असं ऐकलंय आणि तोच शेवटी म्हणाला आमचं ज्ञान म्हणजे काय नाही
He once said, the more I learn, the less I know.
जितकं मी अधिक शिकतो तितकं माझं कमी ज्ञान
अज्ञान वाटतो
महाराज काल आम्ही 100
He knows there's a famous Greek man, very wise man, that spent his whole life looking for a wise man. And when he found an oracle, a place of wisdom, he asked, who is the wisest man? No. And the answer was, you are. He always, his whole life, was looking for who knew, who was wise.
मग तो मूळ माया त्याच्यात तुझ्याला होते जाते आणि मूळ माया शिल्लक झिलच पाव मूळ माया त्याची अंतर येतात जातात पण शिल्लक का झिरो बुद्धाने शून्य म्हटलं माणूस आम्हाला बसवून गेला त्याला कसलं ज्ञान झालंय म्हणजे झिरो मला कळलं He says that Jnani, he's accounting the play of this effort. What is the sum total of all this? To a Jnani, this comes to zero. All this spectacular play of this Mool Maya, the consciousness. He comes to the conclusion, this is all a big zero. That's why he speaks from the authority.
जानता शाश्वत है, मूल माया जरूर है, जानता शाश्वत है, और शाश्वत शॉट नहीं करना, शाश्वत शॉट नहीं, जरूर का जानता है.
The knower or the witness of this Mool Maya play, which is zero, is the eternal. He is Shashwat. Shashwat means eternal. Normally, Shwas means a consciousness state, consciousness and right the breath. It is not eternal.
जानते हो शाश्वत शॉट नहीं.
Shashwat means eternal, but there is no breath. That means beyond consciousness.
जगाला सांगितलं त्या माणसाला होता, खुशाल खा प्या मजा करा जा, याच्यात पडू नका. पण माझ्या दृष्टीने हे सगळं झिरो आहे ना.
Since I come to the conclusion that this is a very big zero only, in spite of all the activities, etc., I advocate all the persons, you go and enjoy your life fully.
तुम्ही मजा करून द्या, पण काय झालेलंच नाहीये आमच्या दृष्टीने. झाले नाही, घडले नाही, कोणी घडवले नाही, असं आहे. पण तुमच्या अनुभवाने अनंत अपार आहे ना, त्याच्या पार व्हायचं आहे. पण त्याच्या वार नाव नौका आणि नाव नौकेतून पार होणारा आपण त्याच्यात ज्ञान, त्याच्यातून तुम्हाला त्याचा अर्थ लागेल. आणि सगळं जग कसं पवित्र असेल तिथे जगाला जग पडणार.
Because I know it's a zero and it is not created and it will not be destroyed. That is the way he has understood. That's why I tell all people, you thoroughly enjoy yourself all this world. Because they aspire to enjoy and experience the world in their own understanding. And they think that the world is plenty and they have to enjoy plenty. So I advise them, you enjoy thoroughly. He says, they also would like to go to the other end of the world. But by just enjoying in fragment, they will not understand. They will not be able to cross the world. So the only boat by which they will be able to cross this realm of consciousness is to abide in consciousness. You be in your own consciousness. When you abide in the consciousness, then only you will transcend this realm of consciousness. Also said, the boat. That consciousness means, he also said, reciting the name, reciting the sacred name, that is the boat, by which you will abide in the consciousness and transcend it.
बरोबर.
14th September 1979.
निर्माण होऊन झालेलं नाही, होत नाही, ते याचीच अंतर. बाकी सगळे चित्राचे निर्माण झाले. जन्म या संज्ञेचं ज्ञान काय आहे? कोण जन्म या संज्ञेचं ज्ञान कोणाला आहे? तत्ववेत्यांना तरी आहे काय त्या संज्ञेचं ज्ञान? आणि जन्म संज्ञा मानतांतर पुढचा तुमचा व्यवहार आहे. जन्म संज्ञेची उपस्थिती आहे तोपर्यंत तुमचा व्यवहार आहे. जन्म संज्ञेची उपस्थिती मावळली मग तुमचा व्यवहार कुठे आहे? समजा which philosopher has thought of the term birth? Birth, what does he mean by birth? And after the birth only, all this information has appeared on you. Now, that information will vanish along with death. That is the end of that period which is called life.
त्याचं ज्ञान म्हणजे ओळख किंवा माहिती ज्याला यथार्थी आहे तो जन्म संज्ञेत बोलत राहत नाही.
One who has really understood the meaning of birth, meaning of the term birth, will never again wallow in the condition of birth.
चैतन्य जात आहे. चैतन्याच्या कोणत्याही बंधनात मी नाही.
Though I am of the species of consciousness and beingness, I am not bound by anything that is usually binding on consciousness as such.
माझ्या चैतन्य जातीमध्ये दिवस निराजण्याचा भेद नाही आहे, काळो गोजडचा भेद नाही आहे.
In the species that is my consciousness, to which I belong, there is no difference between day and night or light and darkness.
सुगंध दुर्गंध हा भेद माझ्या चैतन्यामध्ये नाही, माझ्या जातीमध्ये.
There is no difference between fragrance and stench, not to my consciousness, to which I belong.
हा काळो काय हा उजेड आहे असा भेद माझ्या चैतन्यामध्ये नाही.
The difference that this is light and this is darkness never appears in my consciousness.
ते अनंतपाल चैतन्य जीव व्यक्तित्व जेव्हा निर्माण होते त्यालाही अनुभव आहे, त्याचे अनुभव आहे.
That manifestation called individual personality, that only experiences all these things. See?
I take my stand in pure awareness, in which there are no distinctions of light and darkness, or any difference at all. Only when the consciousness, that is a reflection of the true awareness, comes, then all these differences stop. When the mind, the discriminative mind comes into being, then the two differences of light and shade, dark and sunlight or fragrance, they arise only when the discriminative mind comes into being.
एक आणि दोन, एक आणि दुसरे असा अनुभव नाही.
To his stand, to his consciousness or awareness, there is no difference between this or that, one or two.
आपल्या कंपनीने कल्पनेच्या समजुतीने आपणाला आपण गाळून घेतला.
You have taken, buried yourself under the concepts which you have created yourself. Your own concepts have buried you down.
मला ते ज्ञान म्हणून सांगतो, चैतन्याच्या व्यवसायाचं ज्ञान आहे ते.
Whatever knowledge I am giving you is the knowledge of the activity of that consciousness.
पण या व्याधीची जगामध्ये कोट्यावधी नावे, कोट्यावधी उपचार जसे आहेत तसे जे उद्भवणारे चैतन्याचे आविष्कार त्याच्यावर बोलण्यात आला.
You see, on a disease that has appeared, there are hundreds and crores of remedies and descriptions. So also, all this knowledge is on the 100-fold manifestations which have appeared on consciousness. Under various names, infinite number of names and shapes.
त्या चैतन्याला काही पण भाऊ साधक वा बाधक नाही.
However, that consciousness in itself is immutable. Nothing harms him, nothing is gained by it. There is no gain for it, there is no loss for it.
नसे म्हणतात अनुभव जो मला येतोय त्याच्या ज्या अवस्था अनुभव येतोय त्याच्याशी मला काही संबंध नाही आहे.
You see, whatever experience through the body he is getting, or whatever the stage of that body, does not concern him at all. He is not one bit concerned with whatever stage the body is in or whatever it is suffering or enjoying. Nothing.
जन्म एक संज्ञा ज्याला आहे त्या जन्मावस्थेची ते सर्व अनुभव आहेत त्याच्याने माझा काही संबंध नाही.
He says that whosoever is born under the term of this name birth, with that he is not at all concerned. That is this body.
मला इथं बोलू
which I'd like to put forth. During our stay here in the presence, what does Maharaj recommend that we do in order to best take advantage of the situation?
माझा पहिला प्रश्न असा आहे,
ज्या कारणामुळे तुम्ही मला विचारता त्या कारणाचा बिंदू धरून ठेवा. ज्या कारणामुळे मला तुम्ही विचारता त्या कारणाचा बिंदू धरून ठेवा.
catch hold of it tightly and you will have immense amount of gain.
Yesterday we had a conversation about that which witnesses the witness. further question in that regard I have is, Maharaj suggested that if one gets a hold of the I am and remains as that, then that is the right program. But there is a stage when you proceed in the silence. There's a stage called Manalaya, which to some has that same feeling of I am, and so as a consequence, it's deceiving. How to distinguish between the Manalaya and the I am feeling?
पण काय जरी तुमचं नक्की झालं असेल, निश्चित झालं असेल, जन्म संज्ञाच्या आतेलच आहे ना.
Whatever is absolutely determined in yourself, whatever you have taken,
First I took out the wires, building the custody. Girl, why is out here? Go to the average person, they got in and out. I'm going up this. I'm going to this person. I'm going to this. No girl, why is person in out? Go to the much people do. We had come in at the net. You know, but you go, we didn't have to. And that's what one did later. I'm going to go here. I can't do you right already.
A lotus has come out, and Brahma, with all the four faces, Brahma is supposed to be born in that lotus. That Brahma is that lotus is actually the heart. And in that heart also there is that sound, dhvani. That is the birth. Now he says that Brahma, who has come out of the lotus, how can he know the lotus stalk, the navel of Mahavishnu, who is reposing on the milk ocean and the milk ocean? How can he know? Because he is born there in the lotus, in the heart. Now, so long as you are moving about in the world of this manifestation, how will you be able to understand?
Point is, if I consider myself to identify myself with the body and the I am, then how can I understand my original state before I was born? It is impossible for me to know my true state from which I had this manifestation of who I am.
Well, just as a frog that has lived all his life in the well understands only the capacity of the well, when he is taken out of the well, he can certainly understand the capacity of that which is beyond it.
म्हणतात की
त्या धक्क्यातच जगणार तो धक्क्यातच जगणार असतो तिकडं तिकडं खात असतो.
पण त्याला बाहेर काढलं म्हणजे ना, त्याला बाहेर काढलं आपल्यासारख्यांनी.
त्याला तुम्ही शरीराला ओळखून बाहेर काढता ना. आमचं बोलणं अशरीरी आहे. आमचं बोलणं अशरीरी आहे. सांगा बोले एवढ्यासाठी.
This is where the trouble starts. You talk of the frog. The frog is concerned only with the body, and so long as the man is also concerned only with the body and identifies himself with the body, he can never understand what I say, because what I say does not refer to the identification with the body. It's entirely a different matter, only which you will understand only after you give up the identification with the body.
That I understand. Now, there are two modes of my understanding here. One which is on the relative plane, and perhaps the other I don't understand, which is on the absolute. If we are talking then about things which are on the relative plane, such as the jiva the world and God, then would it be best to put the question to the God who comes up with the jiva, so that we could then understand from our relative viewpoint?
म्हणजे तिकडे बोलला होता काय
ईश्वर म्हणजे
हे आहे ते
ईश्वर म्हणजे कोण?
आहे तेच विना ईश्वर मानता तुम्हाला समाधान कधी मिळणार नाही.
He said, if you consider Ishvara as something different entity and you want to point out Ishvara, you will never get the knowledge. Can Ishvara be different from you?
But if Ishvara and the jiva and the world arise simultaneously, and if I cannot know the absolute, why don't I put my question then to Ishvara to clear up any doubt?
That's what he said. Ishvara is not some entity different from you. That you approach him and put a question, he replies. He said it's not a different entity.
जीवाला समजत नाही ईश्वर जीवाला जर समजत नसलं तर
जीव हे शब्द ईश्वर हे शब्द आहे जीव आहे ना ईश्वर आहे ना शुद्ध जीवत्वाला शिव म्हणतो आम्ही. शुद्ध जीवत्वाला आम्ही शिव म्हणतो. आणखी व्यवसाय प्रवीण म्हणून त्याला ईश्वर म्हणतो. परिचय
शुद्ध जीवताला ईश्वर.
शुद्ध जीविताला शिव म्हणतो आणि व्यवसाय नाही त्याला ईश्वर म्हणते. करता ईश्वर आहे. तरी पण जन्म मृत्यूच्या काय त्या कमळामध्ये तुमचा व्यवहार आहे. जन्म जन्म या संज्ञेच्या कमळामध्ये तुमचा व्यवहार आहे. मला पहिल्यांदा सांगितलं माझ्या चैतन्य जीवितामध्ये काळोखीचा अनुभव नाही, जाग झोपेचा अनुभव नाही, सुगंध दुर्गंधाचा वेग नाही. ते चैतन्य माझी जात आहे. त्याच्यात काळोख नाही, उजेड नाही, रात्र नाही, दिवस नाही, सुगंध नाही, दुर्गंध नाही. अशा जातीचा मी तुमच्याशी बोलतो. तुम्ही त्या जन्मसंज्ञेवर अवलंबून सगळं बोलता व्यवहारचा. त्या जन्मसंज्ञा ही काय आणि काय आहे एवढं याचा विचार करा अगोदर. जन्मसंज्ञा जर तुमच्याकडे वहिवाटीला नसेल तर तुम्ही काय करता आणि काय करणार सांगा. एकमेकांचं इंग्रजी समजवून घ्या. हो
I am talking to you from a standpoint, a state,
म्हणजे जात सांगा
which is beyond deep sleep and waking state, beyond hunger and thirst, beyond fragrance and no fragrance. You follow? It's all beyond that. That is my state. I am talking to you from that state. And you are trying to understand from an embodied state. You think you are born. You think you are wrapped up in birth and death, and from that standpoint you are trying to understand it.
When I concentrate,
आणखी राहिलं कसं
काय राहिलं सांगा एकमेकाला.
जीवाला काय म्हणतात? जीव म्हणता ना.
माझं बरोबर आहे ना. कॉन्शियसनेस
जाणवलेलं जाणीव.
That is touch. He said that touch of consciousness, that little touch, pinprick of consciousness, that is Shiva. And for your practical purpose, you use the word Ishvara. Ishvara means manifested.
ओमला संज्ञा दिली आहे ती जीव म्हणून. ओ जीव ओ व्यवहारामध्ये आमच्याकडे अगोदर असं होतं. कोणी हात मारले वडील म्हणतात जीव जीव ओ मानले जीव ओ हा शब्दच होता. हात मारले वडील म्हणतात जीव ओ म्हणजे मी ऐकलं आहे. मी ऐकलं सांगा काय जीव म्हणजे हा जो ओम आहे तो जीव पण देहाने बांधला गेला म्हणून त्याला जीव म्हटलाय.
He says, now suppose we call somebody, normally in our language, the one who is called, he responds by saying G-O. G means the listener now gives the word that he has listened. He has listened the call. And then he says O, followed by O. So it is that consciousness, that Shiva touch, that is responding by that word Om. So he says that is that consciousness, is the touch of Shiva. But when you want to talk about, then you can say it is Ishvara principle, the manifest principle. But initially it's the touch I am.
मग आता शिवाय शब्दात आपण असल्याचा स्पर्श त्याला होतो जाणीवेचा स्पर्श त्याला होतोय. आपण असल्याचा स्पर्श जाणीवेने होतोय. शिव आपण असल्याचा स्पर्श जाणीवेने होतोय. शिव स्वयंचा स्पर्श शिवरा.
Shiva means that deity is also there, but Shiva in our language is touch, just a touch. What is that touch? The touch of I am. That I amness is felt. The touch of I amness is Shiva.
असल्याचा अन्य नाही.
I am. That touch is Shiva.
आता व्यवहार आहे मग त्याला कोणी माया म्हणतोय का ईश्वरही म्हणतो असंही घेऊन म्हणतो.
Then its activity normally we call it Maya. One word is Maya. Then you call it Ishvara. All the manifest principles.
The reason I'm asking these questions is to try to find within this a sensibility, a method of cognition of the state to which Maharaj alludes to. Now, when one in the process of meditation reaches the silence and asks himself, who am I? There comes a profounder silence where the notion I does not arise. Is this the state that he is referring to? And if that is so, can you have flashes of it prior to self-realization?
बरोबर आहे. परंतु जन्म अवस्थेतील अनुभव आहे.
What you say is correct, he said. But still, these experiences of yours, they are in the realm of your birth state. You are born.
The state that I am referring to is a state wherein birth is forgotten, as is the name and as is the body.
मी जे काय म्हणतोय ते तुम्हाला हे होतं स्थिरता किंवा शांतताचं
जी अवस्था येते
त्यामध्ये मी हा शब्द नसतो. माझ्या जन्माची मला तिकडे आठवण नसते. अशी अवस्था आहे.
आणि देहाची नाही.
तरी पण ती अवस्था जन्म अवस्थेमध्येच आहे ना. जन्म ही अवस्था आहे ना. जागाली जो जाग झोपाली झोपण म्हणजे ज्ञान. तीन प्रकार आहेत. जाणीव आणि जागाली झोप.
Maharaj first said,
याच्यातला अनुभव आहे.
Maharaj said, first what was described is correct. He started with that. He said, the experience that you have felt and what you expect is correct. But he adds that even if that is correct, all these experiences, this experience or any other kind of experience you may have in samadhi or when you sit in meditation are still the product of the body, mind and imagination.
तुम्हाला हा सर्व अनंत जगाचा अनुभव येतो आहे. ती जन्म संज्ञा म्हणून जी आहे तुमची त्याच्या पोकळीमध्ये तुम्ही नाही आहात हे तुम्हाला कळलं पाहिजे.
ते कसं करणार, कधी करणार?
ते का असं उड्या नाही करणार नाही.
हो.
इंग्रजी शब्द उघड
उघड आहे.
He said, you said about step by step. It's all right, step by step as a concept of yours is okay. Now if you have got a book, it has a number of pages. One page, after that another page, like that, it's okay. He said, now whatever experiences you are getting, even in meditation, you follow, of that silence also, this is confined to the realm of consciousness. Consciousness is born. Consciousness is born. With the birth, consciousness is there. The birth of the consciousness and body means birth. Consciousness is born and it will go. You follow? So this experience of that deep silence is in the realm of consciousness. And you must understand that you are not in the realm of this consciousness. You are something beyond that, or you are prior to that. That realization must happen to you.
To take it from another angle, it is also said that the self is self-effulgent, that it is light, and that it appears, or that the consciousness appears by a reflection of that light. Would it then follow that if one were to pursue the light, one could then find the state that he is talking about?
सांगा.
काय?
जाणीवेच्या पोटात जन्म झालाय.
But whatever world is manifested before
जाणीवेच्या
you,
पोटी जन्म झालाय. जाणीवेच्या जगाचा जन्म होत नाही.
whatever world has appeared on you, manifested before you, has come out of that consciousness. Before that appearance of that consciousness, they are together. And before that consciousness, there is no, before the appearance of birth,
तुम्हाला जे जग दिसतंय तुमच्या जाणीवेतच तयार झालेलं आहे.
जाणीवेत जन्म आहे जगात. तुमच्या जगाचा जन्म तुमच्या जाणीवेत आहे.
The world
your
which you
world.
observe is created in your consciousness. The world which is observed is created in your consciousness. मी त्याच्याबद्दल बोलत नव्हतो.
कोणाबद्दल बोलतो बोला.
Talk again.
शब्द बदलला.
I was talking about a self-effulgent light which equates itself with the state of the self.
What do you mean by self-effulgent light? Exactly what state?
What do the
It is
text?
actually-
What do the texts mean by it?
Pure awareness.
No,
From what I understand, it means that it generates unto itself light, that it equates itself with light, and that should be known in the literal sense. So that if one is a seeker for truth and light, which are also synonymous terms, then by finding that light, you would then find the state that Maharaj is referring to. That was the question.
हे अक्षर आहे.
हो.
आणि पुन्हा काही अक्षर
अक्षर हो
एकच आहे.
एकच आहे. हो. त्याच्यानंतर त्याचा जो प्रकाश येतो तो जाणीवेमध्ये त्याच्या पोटी हे सगळं जग आणि हे सगळं उत्पन्न झालं. मग त्याचा पहिलाच प्रश्न असा की ते जाणीवेशी मी एकरूप होऊन मग पुढं कसं जाणार, त्याचा प्रश्न पहिल्यापासून तोच.
विचित्र प्रश्न आहे. पुढे जाणार म्हणजे कुठे जाणार? जाणीव नसताना कुठे जाणार? जाणीव जाणीवच करणार ना. मग जाणीवचा जे आता काय आहे काय तिथे तिला राहून दे. तू जाणीवेची गंमत बघ.
हा. हे
जाणीवेचं काय काय होते ते तू बघ. चालला कुठे?
You wanted to get the next step from your consciousness, being in your consciousness and in samadhi or meditation to the ultimate state. That was your problem, original problem.
consciousness. He has not spoken about consciousness. But he said only light. Self-effulgent light, and the light, he said hold on to the deep
Yeah.
so that you get the vision of the source of the light. That's what he is asking.
So that
Consciousness is our terminology. That is what he called reflected light. What he, no, that is not it. He will have to follow his words.
and let me get the terminology which the Maharaj uses. There is the true awareness, from which comes the consciousness, which is your feeling, I am. In that consciousness, this feeling, I am, which you have, which is always with you, your world is born. The process, or if there is a process, he suggests, is be one with your beingness. That is, be one with your consciousness. That is all you can do. Remain in that consciousness, and the ultimate state must come to you. There is nowhere else to go. You must. The only thing you can do is to be with your beingness in that consciousness, and whatever happens, you can only watch. You cannot see. You cannot say, I want some state. That state, if any, will come to you in its own course. There is nothing you can do to get it. You can only do is to watch your state from your consciousness. There is nothing further to be done. That's it.
Well, this goes back to the original question I had of the distinction between the monolaya, which is the black darkness of ignorance, as versus the enlightenment where indeed there is a self-effulgent light. Now, I will go along with, I understand the terminology of Maharaj. Now, is there in his awareness, his pure awareness, is there a self-effulgent light that does not constrict its awareness, but that it is part and parcel of it, that people...
That he has just confirmed earlier. That is, look at, those are only names. You call it true awareness, you can call it the ultimate state, you can call it the effulgent light. All those are terms, the meaning of which is the same. They are only various names.
It is not literal.
It is not literal. In fact, the state can't be described. So all
he doesn't call light at all, fragrance and low fragrance. That is a state.
If you want to call it,
So
you
you
can call
cannot
it.
say self-effulgent light, you cannot indicate.
There is, in many of the religious texts in Advaita Vedanta, the notion that as one becomes self-aware, there is a light which permeates, and that indeed the world, Maya, the light that it has, is a reflection of that primordial light. Now, is that not literal?
महाराज
मग म्हणत नाही तर त्याचा आविर्भाव आहे.
हा
जसे ते हे आम्ही निदर्शन करतात.
हो.
हे अमक्याचं निदर्शन, तमक्याचं निदर्शन, तमक्याचे निदर्शन. ही निदर्शन त्या चैतन्याची आहे. प्रतिभास नाही.
he says that one which cannot be described is, and I do not call the illusion Maya as its reflection, but it is the expression of that unknown or undescribable, indescribable. I do not call it.
त्याच्यामध्ये नाना प्रकारचे सगळे मोर्चे निघत आहेत.
All kinds of morchas are coming in that manifestation. Crores.
That is an expression.
निदर्शनामध्ये उडी घेऊ नको. चिरडला जाते.
But you are its witness. Don't join the morcha. Don't leap into it.
मोर्चा में procession.
Procession, morcha. Morcha here.
त्यांच्या वृत्तीचं तीच करते.
Demonstrations.
लखावटी आहेत. रोज चालू आहे.
You see several processions come here against the government.
Protesting.
They are called morchas here.
कशी
But don't leap in.
तू नियोजन निघत आहे. आणि ते तुझ्या प्रकाशाचे धर्म आहे. त्यांच्यावर तू पुढे जायला लागतो.
They are all coming out of your consciousness, your light. Your consciousness is manifesting itself through all this. So where are you going to leap into it also?
त्या कॉन्शियसचा तू आत्मा आहे.
You are the soul of that
कॉन्शियस
consciousness.
जगाचा आत्मा आहे. जगाचं चेतन झालं.
You are the
Origin.
real nature, origin of that. महाराज त्यांना काही प्रश्न विचारायचे कोणाला त्यांना.
What Maharaj said, of this manifest world, the consciousness is the soul. Consciousness is the soul of this manifest world. And you, the absolute, are the soul of the consciousness.
पूजन बोल. लांब लचक म्हणू तपशील जाती
If you speak loudly,
In the Western religion and even in the East, they speak of light, light of wisdom or truth. I don't know whether what I understood of what he said is what I'm going to say. The truth, the light of truth, is what dispels darkness. Even though it has no shape, no reality, is that which dispels darkness.
Yes.
That's the light, ever effulgent light of the self, that which illuminates the false. Is that what you were trying to question or ask?
No, that's an abstraction. I was seeking more literal
literal, he keeps repeating, literal. हा प्रकार ज्ञानाचा अंधार दूर करतो हे असं याने सांगितलं.
असं सगळीकडे लिहिलंय.
आपण म्हणता ते हेच का, तर याने सांगितलं ते नाही. मी म्हणतो की अक्षरशः प्रकाश म्हणजे अक्षरशः प्रकाश आहे का. आपण म्हटलं प्रकाश हे अंधार नाही प्रकाशने. यांचं म्हणणं त्यांनी वाचलेलं आहे ते दिसतो. सद्वस्तू म्हणजे प्रकाश, अत्यंत प्रकाश.
तुम्ही काय वाचला होता. तुम्ही आधी अनुभवाला जमलं का. तुम्ही असल्याच्या अनुभवाला जमतोय का.
Maharaj gives you a basic query. He said, whatever you may have read, those are all concepts of the writer. He said, whatever you have read, does it tally with the basic what he calls capital knowledge that you have, that I am, with the knowledge that you have, does it tally with your personal knowledge, not with somebody has told you or what you have read? Does it tally with you what you know individually, personally, with conviction?
No, these are guidelines toward achieving the sense of the I am. Okay?
One. Limpanato in now only those three instead. Instead, now only those three was so a few now. Yeah, the rest keep coming to that. We don't know. Unshilaham. Yeah, the Naprastad, no, now. The case now. Naprastad, the village is not at Limpanato, Nato clean. The Talon Sarabu issue. Bên người à, nghe nó thông lịch, để đến người thông lịch là của người đến người đó chứ. Để đến người thông lịch là nó bất thường nữa, nó không có mất được. Có không có thoại thì nó lên một cái rồi. Đời nó rớt được. Cái người nên cái thầy học nó bảo chứ nào. Ok. Học này làm gì đâu. Ủa. Học đi nói cho lâm mặt lịch. Lòng nó đây. Năm bốn cái thịt, năm lấy một cái năm đi làm là nhà là làm lấy đi làm, để luộc đó đi, để làm là thứ, nhưng mà nó nhà nuôi cái cá để đi đâu đi. Pertropnya tonnya dinas dan nuju jadi suisunya di daerah itu. Belum now is now you go for the student now that we serve meals not be losing. So it's the country is very Erne vrouw maar die vrouw. Erne vrouw maar die vrouw. Het is net ja. Dan, ja, dan. Aan die kant. Nee, die met haar kind, maar ja, dit nog. Nou, wat is het? Had mij ja, ik wil je. Want die ja, ik kan je. Ja, ja, ik net net. Weet je? Ja, ik net nog. Niet je. Want je weet je. En dan heb je dat voor de kant. Ik wil nog heel weinig in het afgelopen. Eigenlijk nog, nu hebben we en zo gedaan. Daar is dit. Het is nou voor zo, dat hebben we nog gedaan. Daar helpt je. Er is niet dat ook. Dat is natuurlijk niet dat we zo wat is dat we moeten ja. Het is niet doen. Oh, die kan het niet doen. Dus je bent een heel kind. Ja, en wel een kind van. Die moet vergeten. Laat je nog zien. Van zien. Maar ja. Dan moet je ja, dan zit hij. Oh, nou dat doen we met je. Nou dan zit hij. Dat moet niet. Damraj, meesternie. Jij kan kiezen. Ja, mama, Nisargadatta. Nillo follow from.
Don't try to fit it in the distinct concepts.
Well, they say that all gurus are one. So it's just a point of clarification.
तर एक स्पष्ट करून घ्यायचं आहे ते म्हणतात की सगळे गुरु म्हणजे एकच हे कसं
पूर्वाचारा काय असते आणि गाड्या बसताना काय असते ते ज्ञान करा जाणीव करा किंवा केवळ ते पास झाला आहे म्हणून आता गुरुही संज्ञा आणली आहे गुरु म्हणजे मुख्य जगामध्ये तुमच्याकडे काय आहे तर तुम्ही आधी जाणीव शिवाय काय आहे तुमच्याकडे कोणाकडे तरी मग तोच गुरु आहे तो माणूस आहे गाढव आहे पुत्र आहे तो भिन्नच तोच आहे भिन्न दोन नाही
द गुरु इज वन गुरु इज द सेम ऑल परवेडिंग एनली and that is the consciousness that I am the being that is the guru
कल्पनेच्या आग्रह वेगळा झाला तो गुरु आपल्या स्वतःच्या कल्पने वेगळा राहिला झाला तो गुरु
the one who is apart from one's body consciousness and concept he is the guru that is I am the consciousness
I'm referring to different concepts, just while Maharaj was referring to.
Have all these concepts from the outer. Is that what you mean?
No. I said that these concepts have come from other outer gurus.
From the other gurus.
Other gurus.
Yes.
And
आपल्या कल्पने वेगळा झाला तो गुरु स्वतःच्या कल्पने वेगळा झाला तो गुरु
Wait a minute. He understood what you're trying to go later. So he says, what you call guru, he doesn't call guru. He says he is the guru. He has gone beyond his concept. And you say that the gurus are given according to the concept.
पलीकडे गेला तो गुरु.
त्या झाली तू पहिला आहे त्या वेगळा ना
तेच म्हणतो.
सद्गुरु
हा
सद्गुरु
मग आणखी वरचा घ्या शब्द नाही
that only he considers only that element, whatever it is, as guru, who has gone beyond the stage of concept. Including the primary concept I am. When you are out of it, that is guru or sadguru.
तुझा भविष्यवाद जाऊ शकत नाही तेव्हा ते गुरु झालास आणि ते स्थिर झालं तो सद्गुरू.
When you have gone beyond your concept, you have become a guru. And when even that concept of I amness subsides, then you have become a sadguru.
तू किती शाळा झाला तरी कल्पना तुझी भविष्य तुला तुझं दाखवते आहे आणि ते भविष्य तू मानतो आहे तो म्हणजे तू गुरु नाही.
However wise you think you have become, it is still a concept. And therefore you have not become a guru until you have that concept.
या दर्जाने आजपर्यंत आमची कल्पना आम्हाला आमचे भविष्य सांगणार मग तुझा पुनर्जन्म आहे आमचा तू गरज होती श्रीमती काय सांगणार कोण तुझं भविष्य तुझं भविष्य सांगणार तुझी कल्पना.
So long as I depend on my concept,
पटतो तुम्हाला
so my concept for whatever is to be done, you see, so long as that, I'll have birth and death and the whole rotation. It's only when I go beyond the concept that I shall become a guru.
Can this going beyond be done on a step basis, or does it happen immediately?
हे गुरु नसताना गुरु व्हायचं मग सद्गुरू व्हायचं ते पायरीने जायचं असतं का एकदम होते
तिथं चढती उतरती भांगडी नाही.
There is no going backwards and forwards there.
That's just figurative. Make itself felt immediately, or does it come in stages of enlightenment?
साक्षात्कार हळूहळू होतो का एकदम होतो.
सगळं हळूहळूच होतो नव्हतं काय नव्हतं ते असं होतो उदाहरण 9 महिन्यात तो असा झाला नंतर मग हळूहळू होता आता 35-40 वर्षाला असा झाला हळूहळू नाही का सगळं हळूहळू.
Again is a concept. You say the child is born when the body arrived, but it didn't take 9 months to get ready that body. So if you consider those 9 months, it is step by step. But the birth is sudden. The actual birth is sudden.
All right. There is a gestation period that you allude to as being 9 months. Is that analogically correct with the practice?
ते 9 महिन्यानंतर जन्म झाला त्याचप्रमाणे
नाही 9 महिन्याच्या पहिल्या दिवसाला जन्म झाला. काय बोलतो
समजलं. He takes another analogy now. That even those 9 months, being born 9 months, is not correct. You have been before those 9 months.
9 महिन्याच्या पहिल्या दिवसाला जन्म झाला.
You are born prior to the gestation 9 months, gestation period. That means at the time of the conception.
Now, Maharaj is being very elusive.
म्हणतात एक शब्द बोलल्याबरोबर तुम्ही पकडता तिथं आपण निसर्ग पकडता येत नाही आपल्याला त्या आपले तर ते साधारण 9 महिन्याची नंतर साक्षात्कार
मुला पुढे करणार आहे. जन्म झाला ही भ्रांती झाली मला. पहिला जन्म 9 महिने हे महिन्यांनी आयुष्य ही केवळ भ्रांती म्हणून त्याला माया म्हणतो.
The whole thing is really Maya. Nobody is born, nobody is going to die. So even this entire thing is a concept.
अपभ्रम शब्दाला तुमच्या शब्दाचा यांचा अपभ्रम
डिस्टॉर्शन.
The whole thing is a distortion.
हा जो जन्म झाला यांच्या खरं आहे म्हणते हा अपभ्रम आहे.
So the feeling that we are born and we see the world is a distortion.
Well, this is very true, but there are others who are more distorted than others.
Some are more equal than the others.
Some is less immoral than others. The question is, how do you become less distorted?
ते अपभ्रंश
concept again.
अपभ्रंश कसा करायचा तो हीच कल्पना आपण म्हणतो पण ते अपभ्रंश कमी कसा करायचा
हा काय करायचं फक्त हळूहळू त्या जाण आहे त्याच्यावर ओळख
बॅक अगेन टू द ओरिजिनल सजेशन
जाणला जाण्याची करायचं
nothing is to be done. Be with your being, and everything that is to happen will happen. Nothing that you can make
Understand. You have to only understand the process. You are not to do anything, just understand.
काय गरजेनं आपल्याला आहे तो विचार तुम्हाला ते पण करतोय ते पण करतोय हे नाही ते पण करतो ते पण करतोय हा गरजेनं आपल्याला असं असं झालं म्हणजे त्याला तो कोणता पण भेटतो आणि ते पण कवळ फोडून जातो
When he said one should have an absolutely deep yearning to get this truth. He must have that intense need to understand this. To such a person, the Guru arrives there and breaks the shell.
nothing that he can. He has.
Yes, but there's another injunction, and that is that one should remain desireless. Now, yearning and craving are also a desire.
ही एक इच्छा वासना झाली खरं म्हटलं इच्छा वासना असू नये असं म्हणतात
मोक्ष मिळावा किंवा साक्षात्कार व्हावा ही अत्यंत गरज
एक वासना झाली ना.
इच्छा
त्यावेळेस ते असणारे असलीच पाहिजे
At that moment, you get necessity.
वाचनालाही कसं होणार मग
To become desireless, that
वाचनाची गरज भागली पाहिजे ना वाचनाची गरज भागल्याशिवाय तो कसं वेगळा होईल संतोष प्रधानमध्ये वाचण्याची गरज भागली पाहिजे
that is the last desire which has to be satisfied before you go your
No, to become desireless. This desire is important.
so that is
And it must exist.
How does this yearning, how should it manifest itself?
अत्यंत गरज त्याचा उमाळा कसा येतो हं? त्याचा उमाळा कसा दिसतो म्हणजे काय झाल्यानंतर समजावं की अत्यंत गरज त्या स्थितीला पोहोचला होता
तो दुसऱ्याला सांगावं लागतो मी जागा झालो सांगा भाऊ मी जागा झालो का सांगा भाऊ ते इकडे करतो काय प्रश्न आहे
Do you have to be told that you are awake?
Sometimes.
That you are
माझी जागा मी जागा झाला का सांगा मी जागा झालो का सांगा हे काय प्रश्न आहे
you know it.
Well, sometimes the static has to be hit on the head. Before he feels anything.
आणि I will probably say concept.
Oh, that concept?
ते म्हणते अत्यंत चांगला साधक असला तरी त्याला गुरुने डोक्यावर एक ठपका मारावा लागतो
होय बरोबर आहे. त्याला तू गुरु म्हणतो हे तुझे अपूर्व जीवित आहे तुझी प्रॉपर्टी आहे अविनाशी प्रॉपर्टी तो तुझा गुरु आहे ज्याचा कधी लय होत नाही कमी अधिक होत नाही ते गुरु आहे तुझं
That is
तो
your
रस्त्यात
guru.
भेटलेला गुरु नाही
Not someone you meet on the road, but that is your own something which you are entitled to. That your being, that is your guru. Primary capital of life, and that will do whatever is to be done. Not you as a personality.
जन्मावस्थेच्या पूर्वी आणि जन्मावस्था संपल्यानंतर जी तुझी प्रॉपर्टी अविनाशी ते तुझा गुरु
That's ultimately that state which was yours before you were born, and that state which is yours after the body dies, that is your good,
शाश्वत प्रॉपर्टी
permanent property.
किती काळ येता जातात पण त्याचं माप काढता येते एवढी शाश्वत किती युग आले गेले पण त्याचं माप नाही काढलं ह्याचं आयुष्य किती
Time as we say, millions of years have gone, but nobody has been able to measure your eternal property.
काय समजलं का
मी ते समजायच्या ऐवजी त्याने मला समजलं म्हणून
मला घेऊन
गिळून टाकला
माझी आहे ते.
करेक्ट
गिळून टाकला म्हणजे
You are consumed by it. You are consumed or swallowed by it.
आपल्या जाणीवच्या जाणीवेविषयी जाणीवच्या जाणीवेचं तुम्ही ब्रह्मांड त्याने ओम ओम करून गेलो. ओम स्वाहा ओम ब्रह्म स्वाहा.
To be consumed by that consciousness of I amness is correct.
Your I amness together with your manifest world is entirely consumed in that ultimate capital of yours. Swallowed.
प्रश्न कोणाचा काय करतो राम की काळी जय राम बोललो म्हणजे पुन्हा घाल
हे सगळं तत्वज्ञान सांगितल्यावर सगळे लोक कंटाळतात मग राम
I feel a pinch seeing my parents, what they represent, what the Guru represents himself. It's just a character. There's so much more there that there's a pinch to see them just as a concept and it hurts.
Just
Just as another concept coming in and out. There's a feeling there of pain when I see them as they are.
तुझा जन्म झाला आहे त्या जन्म झाला त्याच्यात गुण निर्माण झाला ही मूलभूत माया कल्पना. दुसरी कुठली
there is no other concept except that I am born. No other concept. सांगा. Primordial illusion. That illusion is that at the root of all these parents and guru and this concept or pinch or everything.
Attached to that which one loves. That when one sees that starting to fall away, it's just an illusion. There is some pain. Things that already are ugly go easy. The things that one loves are.
त्यांच्याविषयी फार प्रेम वाटतं. गुरूंविषयी किंवा आई वडिलांविषयी प्रेम वाटतं आणि मग ते प्रेम जाणार किंवा तरी हे नाहीच होणार याचं फार मोठं मनाला हे होतं. आणि जर काही वाईट असलं तर त्याला आपण सर म्हणू शकतो की निघून जा, काही परवा नाही. पण हे जे चांगलं आहे ते चांगलं जाणार या कल्पनेने फार दुःख होतं.
पण ही तुझी सशरीरिक प्रेम कल्पना आहे. अशारीरिक प्रेम कल्पना सशरीरिक कल्पना आहे तिची. अशारीरिक अशारीरिक प्रेम कर.
That attachment and love you have should not be body bound. It should overcome that sense of body identification.
Telling him that I'm aware that love for my parents or for the Guru is the same love that the I have for itself. I'm aware. But it hurts.
सगळं मला
ते केलं घडून घडलं त्याच दुःख आहे.
सांगा सांगा
बरोबर सर तुम्ही बोला. तो परिवार होणार करतात ही मोठी पाहिजे.
These are all the pains and pangs for things which should not have been done are done and which should not have happened has happened. As a result of that, these are all the pangs of pain.
Shakti is there to eradicate all that pain. To eradicate the pain.
भक्ती अद्वैत अनन्य भक्ती द्वैत भक्ती नाही अनन्य अन्यथा नाही त्याच्यात.
this love for the Guru, does he have the feeling that
Duality.
I love the Guru? That I love the Guru. There, love is love, that's all.
And there is no duality at all. One.
There are so few self-realized beings on the face of this earth. And there are so many sadhaks wishing to become one of those. What would give us the confidence here to believe that we could become one of those very rare beings?
Krishna
सोपं आहे
it's so easy.
सशरीर सध्या ठेवू नका स्वतःवर अगोदर स्वतःवर सशरीर सध्या ठेवू नका अशरीर सध्या करा हे वर्म आहे
This is very simple. All I have to do is give up my identification with the God. That is all I have to do. And anything else that is to happen will happen of its own course. If I need a Guru, the Guru will appear. Simple. All I have to do is give up my identification with the body.
Why then are there so few who have had success in this area?
मग त्या थोड्या लोकांना काय याच्यामध्ये यश मिळालं?
ते सांगता येणार नाही. कारण हे हा अनुभव अकर्णीय निर्माण झालेला आहे करणीय अनुभव नाहीये तुम्ही फक्त जन्म मानता पण करणीय अनुभव आहे नाहीतर हा अनुभव जगाचा आणि आपण असण्याचा अकर्णीय अनुभव आहे जन्मसिद्ध करता तुम्ही म्हणून तुम्ही करणीय अनुभव आहात जन्मसिद्ध करून करता आज मला वर्ष एवढी झाली आज मला एवढी वर्ष गेला जन्मसिद्ध करतात शरीर म्हणजे जन्मसिद्ध होणार नाही
You be unconditioned by the body mind. Your faith should be unconditioned by the body mind. Then you will be unconditioned. Unconditioned faith. Now today your faith is conditioned by the body mind. It should be an unconditioned faith beyond body mind. He says you believe that you are born and you indicate some effort there. Everything has come out spontaneously. It's all spontaneity. You understand this spontaneity?
यामुळे मला प्रेम घडलाय सशरीर प्रेम आहे अशरीर प्रेम
Here suppose I love this girl. This means this is bodily love. Bodiless love. Free from body mind, that love should prevail.
And therefore it will not be possible to say, because all this manifestation, appearance, has got no cause whatever. And why only few become siddhas? There is no cause. Nothing can be pointed out as any cause for whatever has appeared. And therefore, why few siddhas and why so many sadhakas? This question cannot be answered.
अशरीर प्रेमाने पूर्णानंद झाला आहे अच्छा कोण आहे त्याचा निवडा तो समजा एखादाच असेल सशरीर प्रेमाने सगळं भरलेले आहे आम्ही वाचतो अशरीर प्रेमाने प्रेम कर पूर्णानंद होईल सशरीर प्रेमाने आनंद झाला तर आनंदातून दुःखाचा जन्म होईल त्याला पोर म्हणतो ते मूळ कसलं अरे दुःखाचं
You try to be that love which is not conditioned by the body and mind. If you are that love, it is total love, complete love. But if you start to derive love out of your body mind, then whatever the creation you are going to start, that creation is the cause of your misery. Out of bodily love, suppose a child is born, that is the root cause for your miseries also.
प्रेमाने मुग्ध झालेला आहे अशरीर प्रेमामुळे त्याचा उल्लेख वैराग्य आहे त्याचा उल्लेख वैराग्य
Detachment comes only
सशरीर प्रेम नाही
after the man or someone becomes free from bodily love, bodily attachment to the body. Real
तू
detachment.
तुझ्यावर प्रेम करतोय तुझा सशरीर प्रेम करतोय तू अशरीर प्रेम कर पूर्णपणे आला जाशील दुसऱ्यावर प्रेम करतो अशरीर प्रेम कर स्वातंत्र्य मिळेल तुला सशरीर प्रेम करू नको हे दुःखाचं कारण आहे हुकुममुळे सांगा सच्चे इंग्रजी
Don't make love to anybody from the standpoint of body. Be free from the body-mind state and be in the state of love.
And that will be the source of all bliss. If you could do this. If your love is attached to the body, it will be a source of misery.
ज्याला पुष्कळ चांगल्या चांगल्या लोकांना भेटतात बरे महात्माला भेटतात सज्जनाला भेटतात पण हा संवाद सुखसंवाद कुठे चालतो काय अशरीरी सुखसंवाद कुठे चालतो काय
You must have met various great sages, scholars, etc. And you might have had dialogue with them. So he's asking, do you have such dialogue which is beyond the body-mind sense? This type of dialogue.
Sukha Samvad, blissful dialogue.
It's deceptive. Sometimes I believe that there's a communion. When one passes through the silence, a communion with the Satguru. And that would be the highest dialogue. But
सगळ्यात उत्तम सुख संवाद म्हणजे शांततेमध्ये गुरुशी एकरूप होऊन बसणे समोर.
ही तुझी आवड चांगली ही तुझी आवड म्हणेल
This is your liking, it's not right.
ही तुझी आवड म्हणेल उत्तम आवड आहे तुला म्हणेल
This is a good taste, no doubt.
But it is personal.
आवड चांगली उत्तम आवड
perhaps it would be personal until one becomes absorbed by what one adores.